The Benny Snell situation is very interesting now because we were under the impression, and I'm glad you actually brought this up beforehand, because the conversation was going to really be what? All right, do you roll with Benny? Is that the one we need out there? We gonna, rest Najee, double DNP? But now this is I don't know how I feel about this anymore, man. Can we hit the reset button? Just give me Najee starting it. Just go back to the basics. Are we there? Or are you gonna roll with it?
A little Jaylen Warren McFarland combo here.
By itself?
Might be all we have.
Maybe I'm tripping. It just seems like watered down. When you was like Benny Snell and Jaylen Warren, I'm like, I like that. If it was Benny and McFarland,
we don't have
I
the
like,
big back.
Yeah. You catch my, like, I feel like we missing.
Jaylen Warren might be able to carry the load, though. He might be able to be one of those bell cow 70-80% type of running backs.
Should I ask, why do we feel he can be that right now?
He looks good. He looks like a really good player. Damn good running back. That's why.
In the role of a Najee and Benny?
Yeah, be out there a lot. I think he could.
I hope you're right. I don't necessarily think it's like that, but I hope you're right.
Running backs built like him have been able to pull it off. The only question is, could he endure that for a full season? We're talking right now Falcons.
We just need a game.
I think he could for sure do it in this Falcons game. But if it's extended, maybe that's where you start to get the question marks. But
I don't like the way our offense looks if it's a Jaylen Warren, Anthony McFarland tandem. Because to me, that's going to have Matt Canada, Kenny Pickett, and the receiving core feeling like, hey, guys, it's on us this week. And now we getting back to the 40, maybe even 50. I feel like we go past first if that's the setup. Because Jaylen's a good player, man, but he's not physical. Like to the same level of when you're watching a Najee or Benny, even on a 2-yard run. And what I mean is this. A 2-yard run and it's Jaylen Warren that you're tackling, it's not going to have the same residual as when you're talking about that 2-yard run and it's Najee or Benny, how Benny was running on Monday night. You know what I mean? Like, just more physically imposing, more punishing guys. And, yeah, I like us as a physical, like, we going to bully you, so to speak, outfit versus, all right, we're going to go with this speed and quickness, very explosive. But now we're going to have to out-scheme you. We're going to have to out-execute. Like, I don't know if we're there just yet for this week.
You don't think we'd give the rock to Warren like 20 times?
No, I don't, honestly. I think we would do it 13 times and stop me trying to throw it. 100%, yeah. And that's like my big fear. If I knew he was going to commit to actually give him the ball, I think it's different. But I don't see them committing to that.
What about a little Master Teague action then? Would you sign him last week?
You see how
Bettis Jr.
You sold me on, or you were trying to sell me on, no Naj, we'll go Benny. And the sales pitch was, I'm getting Benny and Jaylen. Or it'd be Benny and McFarland. But at least I was going to have Benny because he was my Najee type. Now we're down to Warren, Master Teague, and McFarland. Like,
no, I'm good with Warren getting like 80 to 90. But you're a little more hesitant on that because you don't think they're going to go with Warren. I think we should give it to Warren 20, 25 times.
I do too, but they're not going to do that if it's just Jaylen Warren, man.
I think I'm more confident in the Falcons' defense just sucking, and we'll be able to pull this off.
But why do they
no matter what
suck?
running backs.
They don't suck because they play bad. They suck because of the personnel. But we're talking about personnel. If it's a Najee Harris, that's a personnel mismatch, right? When we talk Benny Snell, it's a little bit more of that vibe, right? With Jaylen Warren, it's a little different. That's all I'm saying. With Master Teague, it's a little different, right? We see how it's like, it just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same.
Well, he's limited. So let's see what he looks like on Friday.
Yeah.
Do you think your scenario that you concocted on what it may be with Benny Snell right now could still get him to play Sunday?
Yeah, if that is the case, yeah.
Are you feeling good about him playing Sunday under that scenario?
I will if tomorrow he's full. If he's limited again tomorrow, I do not feel good because that means he's still dealing with some type of swelling or some type of something that's hindering him from being his normal self. So I should investigate. Where was the practice at? Were they indoor or outdoor yesterday? Do you know?
I don't think it says.
Because that's the other part. If you're indoor and you was on the turf, that could also help with making that knee get inflamed or have issues. And when you talk about turf on Monday night, then turf again on Wednesday because of the weather.
And we're back on turf on Sunday.
Okay. And potential on turf again today. Because like I said, with the weather, if the field freezes or it's rainy, stuff like that.
Why would we be practicing outside if we got turf
the thing is this,
Sunday again?
The thing is this. As players, you always want to practice on the grass because it saves your body. You hear the dudes like complaining about like the different turf fields because
Did you hear Najee? He said he likes the turf better.
Because the thing is this, you're faster on turf. You cut better on turf. You have better grip on turf. But that grip is also why you tear your knees up and tear your Achilles up and all your other stuff because you're able to grip.
Rod says they were indoors. Rod Dollars.
Yeah. So that could definitely be part of it because like I said, you're on turf and then you're on turf again. But that's the big reason why guys want to be on the grass, especially during the season, especially your older players or guys that have done this for a while. You start to understand like, man, when you're on grass, it's forgiving for your body, it's forgiving for your joints. You could do this thing a lot longer. Your recovery is a lot smoother and faster. When you're playing on turf, it's like being on cushioned concrete. Like it's cushioned, but it's concrete. It's not forgiving, man. And that's why, the injuries are what they are, but it's easier for the upkeep. And me too, just like Najee, when I was in my second year in the league, I said the same thing. You know why? Because you're not really worried about your recovery when you're in year 1 and 2. You're young. You recover like it's nothing. But as you get older, you start to realize I got to take care of my body. So when you get to year 3, year 4, and you're like, hey, man, I'm still recovering fast. But if I want to do this thing for another 5, another 6 more years, I'm going to have to start understanding the difference of how to take care of my body on a professional level. And that's the difference. And that's why you could tell young player talking about turf versus an older player talking about turf. You play that game long enough, you'll be able to decide it does not take long.